Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Lili Nishmasi Mimirosirus Basmordechai. I don't want to start off share with that. We'll say it later. Aram Islik. It's hard. Dear Belly, I know this will be the next email you might want to read. I entered a small grocery in Hendon, London. I was positively shocked watching the boy at the till learning the daf with us. Your mother. He then told me he managed to bring at least one other boy from his class, and several other friends are still unsure, but we hope they will do a shmak journey through Avodah Zara, the whole Shas. All the best. Aram Islik, here he is at the till. Doing Hagdama to this next clip. Somebody sent me this clip. I believe Aryeh Gilbert, he found this clip. So in Chicago, I felt like the boys needed a little chizuk in their reading and in their diktuk when I lived there. And also, American kids, they practice for the bar mitzvah like a year, they do this whole, and at the end they know their parasha. I figured I could come up with a system where I could teach boys how to read better and how to learn. I put up some signs. I didn't know what I was doing, but I developed a great system. It was very good. A bunch of the boys came over to me years later. I'm Valkyrie every week. Somebody found the clip. Here it is. Do whatever you want with it. I thought it was geschmack. For me, thank you. Whoever came up with this clip, I appreciate it. And also, the reason I'm showing it is because you don't have to send it to me. I got it within half hour. 25 people sent it.
It's going to be geschmack like anything. No, time out. Okay, everybody take it to the top. We love.
That's the name of the school. And that's my 19-year-old son's that little guy over there, Luzin. That's Luzin, that little kid.
You're going to say, remember, you're going to say, we love, right after I say Lamar. I'm going to say Lamar, and you're going to answer, instead of Lamar, you're going to answer, we love. Okay, here we go. All right.
I don't have a single picture or clip of that.
Okay, here we go. All right, everybody, serious. Pasuk Club Base. You guys ready? Nice and loud.
I told him to do shtick. Her voice had started by then.
Very nice. Those same guys are giving daf to now.
Please see attached pictures and video from my trip to New York this week. It was amazing to see in a Chaim Vashalom Shul in Cedarhurst adverts and magnets for the shir as well as daily viewings of the shir. You mentioned a lot about the daf becomes a habit, and it's so true. Even though I was in New York for a wedding, he's from England, I was constantly thinking about when and how to do the daf and not miss a day. But thanks to the endless traffic in New York, I had plenty of opportunity to do the daf in the car. When once upon a time a car ride was for schmoozing or listening to music, it's now another opportunity to do the daf. A small tip to all those MDYers who fly out of Terminal 8 in JFK Airport: if you use a priority pass, you get complimentary access to 1 hour to minute suites, which is perfect for doing the daf in a quiet and comfortable room without distractions before your flight. Photo attached. That would be great for me to give a share in there. Once again, thanks for changing my traveling habits. Kind regards, Avi Ritvo, London Golders Green, your Talmud from Bavasar Daf Beis. Here, the adverts, as he calls them, and the calendar, and what's the name of Havas V'Shalom? Achayim V'Shalom.
Diamond cut floor.
And the unbelievable floor. And here he is learning in New York.
Outskirts, 2,000 mile outskirts of the city.
That's not such traffic, but okay, what else? Real quickly, this is a very, very interesting email. He says, "Dear Belly, thank you for opening my heart again to Torah. After I left the elite Litvish yeshiva following my wedding, I had to be getting provided for my family. I entered a special tech unit for Charedim in the army, and from there moved into high tech, working in various roles. I remained religious and Charedi, keeping mitzvahs and serving Hashem as best as I could, but without a connection to the holy Torah. In my youth, Torah was my entire world. But as the years passed, the heart filled with other things, and I grew so distant from the excitement and love for Torah that I once felt so deeply. Working in high-tech is very demanding, requires many hours of work, learning new technologies, full dedication in order to keep up with the pace and expectations of the job. Family life also needs time and attention. The kids, so you didn't have time. This past year, I've felt deep sadness about that. I prayed Hashem should put Torah back into my heart. I kept trying to figure out how I can fulfill the pasuk, Voyad Dvar Me'ela shall be on your heart. From where am I today? How do I bring Torah back into my heart the way it was in yeshiva? I tried planning Torah in many formats, but nothing touched me the way other ththings have, like family, professional learning, tips, trips, technologies, and various. This email is great until he says, I see Daf Gemara. I couldn't do it until my miracle came. A few days ago, listen to this. A few days ago, I listened to your shir for the first time on Avodah Zara Daf Beis. If he would have said like 6 months ago, Givaldik. But this is also interesting to me. 3 days ago, and I thought, I can't believe this. I felt like I had been reconnected to Torah's life support machine. I wanted to write thank you right away, but I told myself to wait 3 days. Just to be sure I wasn't imagining daydreaming. On the second day, when I got a YouTube notification that the new shir was out, I felt as happy as a kid that when they get a gift. And then I know the excitement was real. The second day shir ended, I thought, what a shame it's over. Today's my third day. I've already decided. First thing when I get to the office, I'm self-employed. I start with your shir. The pleasure is endless. I can't describe how I feel. But it's like I've been given life again. I agree with every word that the tzaddik who donated the gold, all the other means people sent. My humble opinion, your Torah comes from the heart, and what comes from the heart enters the heart. Your Torah goes straight into my heart. You're like a doctor for the soul. Now finally I understand what I'm saying in Shema, and these words which are commanded to you today shall be upon your heart. It's for your new song. Thank you, Rebelli. May Hashem pay you a billionfold, and fulfill your heart's desire for good. Thank you so much for endless investment, preparing the sugya, clear visualization, stories, personal warmth, nothing like exists in the world. May Hashem, this is for 3 days. 3 days. It's a great email, but the 3 days, I don't know.
Another email in another 2 months.
Exactly. Oh, Reb Chaim, it's in Hebrew. It's translated, whatever. I don't know if it's okay.
He's not watching anymore.
He's not watching now. Let me know if you like. Okay, Givaldik, the Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon. It's a corporate sponsor. Rabbi said we're taking corporate sponsors now. Dedicated in memory of Avi Moiri, Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doi Zuchron Levracha. The Masechta is sponsored by Anonymous. Hatzlach Baruch Nizvigashim Zechus Achinuk Bnei Yisrael. Anonymous, may our learning be a shield of protection and a source of unity and blessing Am Yisrael. Joel Gedalius, Lina Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalius. TCS Israel, powered by Talk and Save. Yoni Kletzik, Refor Shlema, Miriam Esther, Bas Perel Frado Pesel. I don't want to be a bearer of bad news, but somebody from our shul that we're all very close to was just nifter a few hours ago. Nati Bloigrund. And I don't know, we don't know when the Levaya is, so we're in a shtickle. The mood is not going to be. It will be. It's going to be geschmack. Monthly, he used to do the shir. He's a big part of the shir. He worked in China, and he used to watch the shir every single day. Moshe Aaron and Miriam Landy, thanks Hashem for all the bracha and simcha. Young guy. I think his daughter got engaged when? Yesterday? 2 days ago.
In the hospital. They came
in the hospital. They realized, I guess, that was... Oh, daily sponsors. Leviton, Halpern, Zara, Suntek families. Lishmas, Kalman Yaakov, Aryeh, Ben Rav Zev, Dov, Halperin, Kalman Halperin. You're part of this? Where's... So I said the other... Zotter? Zaderer. Anonymous. L'rfuah Shlema, Mordechai Ben Esther. We need to daven for Mordechai Ben Esther. Anonymous. Mazel Tov Joey Brecher. I spoke in the Hebrew shir. It's more. There's a boy here, Akiva Shushan. He lives across the street. Avi's neighbor he's in your building, and he used to come to shir every day. He's in the hospital. He needs a L'rfuah Shlema, and it's Khuri was there yesterday. And he saw, when he went to visit him, he was watching the shir. The kid watches the shir on a tablet. So you should have a refuah shlema. Mazel tov Joey Brecher upon your marriage tonight. Wishing you atzlacha on this new chapter. Anonymous. Rabbi Greenspan, dedicated in honor of Michin Udel, Lore Healthcare Services. Teary-eyed email to follow. So Michin Udel, I didn't see this yet. Michin Udel is the same one. He's from Chicago. He does not do the shir, but he puts the shir on a status every day for a few years already. Every day. One of the only people I know like that. That he's not part of the shir, but he tries to get other people to do the shir. So I don't know what this email. It's going to be interesting. Maybe there's no connection. Maybe it's not even the same Michin Yudel. MDY Kids Monthly, that's what I thought. Innovation Schus for Official Elchanan Akiva, Rivki Mrs. Stefansky, Kalman Yisrael for learning, former Sections of Rebelli, Art of the Month, for Shleim for Yehonatan and Itam Ben Bashem Bracha, for Schus for Rebelli and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah on joy of so many, in honor of Yossi Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. Boys, I'm just thinking now, myself and Noam, we went to visit Nati Bloigrund a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and his wife said he's not available. He was taking a shower. He's getting ready to go to the doctor, and he went to the doctor, and the doctor said go to the hospital. He never came back, and sometimes you miss out on life. You have to have the opportunity. If we would have gone a day before, I'm not second guessing anything, but sometimes you got to move on it. You got to move. I pushed off. I had to visit out another friend that's sitting shiva from Shul. His mother, she was in a radio, she was nifter. The whole oilam here went. And I, of course, pushed. I said, I'll go Thursday night after share. It's the last night, so everybody, I come there, shiva is over at 9 o'clock. You miss out. Sometimes you miss out. Opportunity. You got to chaparayim. Says the Heilige Mishnah. We had a Maisa Shahaya at Boisai in Benny's meat store. A guy comes, Shalom Aleichem, welcome back. Oh yeah, we have guests. Shalom Aleichem. What's your names? From Borough Park? Muncie? It's one or the other, yeah? What's your name? You're not from Muncie. Williamsburg. See, I see these things. It's unbelievable. Wow.
It's not for nothing. They call you the doctor of the soul.
Doctor of the soul.
It's not for nothing.
Doctor of the soul. Doctor of the soul. Wow. Which are you? Which one? Which one's the Hershkovitz? I already forgot. Your?
Gingy.
Yeah.
Gingy.
Okay, I got it. Wow. So should we go back, or he doesn't want to do the? It's anonymous. Anonymous. Okay. I let the Olam start putting pieces together. Those who needed to know. Shkoyach, thank you for coming. Send them regards. He's a schmacky guy. So a Maisa Shahaya that happened in Benny's store. A guy comes in Erev Shabbos to buy a steak, and he tells Benny, he says, I want to take the steak. I'm going to make a geschmack barbecue tomorrow on Shabbos. Are you allowed to sell him the meat? You're allowed to sell him the meat. Anybody? Anybody want? You're allowed to.
Maybe he's going to do
okay, no, I was going to say a different story. The same exact story. The same exact story.
He'll do teshuva. He's not going to do it.
Yeah, but he's telling you straight out.
I can do it. He's a yid.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works. We'll see the sugi. You're not right, because the whole sugi is not like you.
Tomorrow he's going to do teshuva. Why?
He has no other.
Right?
Why would I not assume he's going to do teshuva?
He has no other again. You could give him some.
Who said he's not?
No, we're talking about the Reisa here. Chil Shabbos.
Maybe he'll die tomorrow.
Well, it's similar to that child. Huh? Okay, fine. Fine, the same Shilas in Reb Zilberstein. Arya, were you here yesterday? It was very quiet. Very quiet. Says the Mishnah.
It's accountability. You can't just ask me where I was.
Okay, good. But now you know why. So we're going to see. It's usher to sell him. There was a similar case where a guy came in, Erev Shabbos, says, wow, Baruch Hashem, you sell cigarettes. I couldn't find a single store. Now I have what to smoke on Shabbos. So the guy didn't know what to do. He's not allowed to sell to him. But then the guy said, I can't sell to you. So the guy says, you're not going to sell to me? I'm going to go to the government. It's going to close you down. So in that case, the poiskin paskin, that if it's a problem with parnosa, then you're allowed to sell to him. Give it for free. How's that help?
Take it.
Yeah, it's still lifnei iver. This is not about the money. It's lifnei iver. Says the Mishnah. There's a minhag. Wherever the minhag is, whatever the minhag is, that's what we do. There's a concern when you sell a small animal like a sheep, a goat, to an idol worshiper. They were very strange people back then. They would have relations with these animals. Bestiality. We'll call it revia. The concern is revia. So if the minhag is to sell it, then there's no concern, as the Gemara is going to explain. You're in a place, in Switzerland, they don't do that over there. You're in Afghanistan, you have a different issue. If it's a place that there's a problem of revia, so what's the real concern for us as a Jew? The concern is lifnei iver. You're not allowed to trip him up. You're enabling him to do an avera, and for him it's an avera. Why is it an avera for him? Who says? So I will just skip to this Rashi over in the Gemara. Rashi says a very interesting thing, just to remind the Olam and Pshat. If you had to think about it, it says in the pasuk, "V'hayu lebasar echad." Man marries a woman. "V'hayu lebasar echad." What does that mean? Oh, the Pshat is they'll have children. The two of them together make one. The only time the Torah allows you to have relations is when "V'hayu lebasar echad," when there's the ability to create. But if not, with an animal, it's also, and that's also for a guy, says Rashi. There's an isser for the Ovid Kechavim. And by you enabling him, I thought there's a big chiddush. To me, it was a big chiddush. Let's say it's your animal, and you put your animal over here, you walk away. It's your animal. But this guy, you know, he's Ovid Kechavim. He's going to be over with your animal. Are you over on Lifnei Iver? It's your animal. You didn't do anything. You didn't sell to him. You just happened to leave it over here in a place that he could go and get it.
If you know that's going to happen, yeah.
You know it's going to, but it's your thing. I know that let's say, but it's still no. Let's say I have here. I put my bike over here, and I know that Meshuggah is going to steal it and go around the block and put it back. Is that Lifnei Iver? It's my bike, my car. I put my keys right over here. I know this guy's going to go take my keys without rishos, drive my car around the block. Is that Lifnei Iver because I'm causing him to steal? It's mine. He has no right to do it.
Lifnei Iver has nothing to do with possession.
Okay, so you guys are right. To me, it was a big chiddush. We'll see in a second. Now, this is another halacha. We're switching gears here for a second. A larger animal, where there isn't the concern of reviyah, there's another concern called Shabbos. This animal might perform halacha on Shabbos. The Gemara is going to say there's 3 reasons why this could be asur. So you're not allowed to sell ever a larger animal to a guy. We're going to have to see how come in our days you could. Agol musyachin. These are the larger animals in a smaller form. You have a calf. It's still a cow, but it's this tall. It's still a donkey, but it's small. Siyachim. Shleimim ushburim. I don't care if they have broken legs, they're whole. Review the matter b'shbura. We have to see the Gemara. Review says, but if it's damaged goods, then you don't have a concern. Uben seira matter b'sus. Sarah says a sus, a horse, is mutter. What's the difference between a horse and another animal? So Rashi explains that another animal, let's say it's a bull. A bull is a plower. He's a tractor. That's what a bull is. A chamar. What does a chamar do? What does a donkey do? It carries stuff. What does a horse do? Horse doesn't plow. Horse carries people. People are different. That we already had. Let's see inside. It's an amazing Rashi. A horse is to ride. Ruchiv is shvusi. What's the word shvus? The rabbanon. It's only the rabbanon. Why? It's not a melacha. Mishum dechai noises atzmas. So that you have it already. It's hard to understand exactly, but a live person is not really carried. He readjusts himself. He's constantly this. It's as if the animal's not holding him. So we're not concerned about what the Gemara is going to say later on, that he might come to lend it out or rent it. Horse is different, says the Gemara. You want to use your thing now? It's fine.
I want to know if there's Lifnei Iver.
Yes, okay. Yeah, what is it?
Lifnei Iver as a rabbanon, so from here we're there's no Lifnei Iver as a rabbanon?
No, he's not saying that.
He says shvus.
That's one thing. There's a whole thing. There's no. It's only a gzeira that maybe he's going to come to a thing. We'll see in the Gemara. It's not. Says the Gemara. Omar lemeimra. If you start the second word of the Mishnah, it goes to the minhag. How could you talk about a minhag when there's a real isser? Asked the Gemara. Lemeimra the Yisur Leket, there's no isser. Minagu udika. We're talking about minhagim here. Where's the minhag, it's aser. Wherever the minhag of heter, that's the minhag. Vermini, but I'll tell you that it's a real isser. Unbelievable. If you go to a hotel, you can't park your animal over there. You know, there's a parking lot. In those days, they also had a parking lot for donkeys. You cannot park your donkey in the parking lot. Why? Lifnei Iver. It says Mefurish that a idol worshiper is chashud on reviyah. Chashud, so it's mamshe isser. It's not a minhag. What's the difference? In Chicago, in Eretz Yisrael, it's all the same. The chashud on reviyah. Amarav, no. Makom she'intir limkar tir liyachid. Makom she'asu liyachid asru limkar. They're dependent on each other. If you're talking about civilized Avodah Chavim, then you could sell it to them. If you're talking about uncivilized Avodah Chavim, they have a problem. They have a taiva for this. We're going to see different gemaras. It gets wild. That they have a taiva for Jewish animal more than their own animal. They have a taiva for the Jewish animal more than their own wife. They have a certain mishigas. So in a place that it's mutter to sell, it just means that there's no problem with yichud. There's no problem with reveal. We're not concerned. In a place that it's usher for you, that we're concerned of yichud, then the taka will be usher to sell. Daf this on top. No. It's always usher. Yichud is always usher. You're not allowed to park your animal anywhere, any city, any country. Now, but you're allowed to sell an animal to the idol worshiper. Why? Because we're not concerned for reveal. My taima. If we were concerned for reveal, there would be usher. But we're always concerned for reveal. You're not allowed to park in the parking lot. No. So aleichem dak. Have a seat. My taima. Because there's another svara that the guy is concerned about his animal will cause him physical damage or halachic damage, whatever the pshat is, he's going to cause him some damage. And he won't want to damage his own personal property. So that we're not concerned. Rav Amud Beis says the Gemara, the Rav also took it back, he retracted. The Rav, there's such a svara that this causes an animal to be sterile. Halachically, I'm not even sure exactly what the pshat is, maybe in those days, whatever it is, it causes issues that a guy at least thinks it causes issues, and he won't have relations with his own animal. Okay, Rabbi said, if you know the answer to this, because you learned it before, so don't answer. But logically speaking, what does your brain tell you without any previous knowledge? When you rent something, you rent a car from Hertz. So you're paying for that day, you're responsible for that car. For that day, halachically, is it your car? Is it your car? Could you, I don't know what. For instance, the big nafkamina la halacha, it's you're renting this animal. It's your animal. Now, could you feed it truma? If you're a kohen, could you give it truma? Or let's say, if the owner of the animal is a kohen, could you give it truma because you're just renting it, and the real owner is the rental. The donkey rental store is the real owner, and he's a kohen. So give him truma. How do we view it logically? No.
Let's say neither. Or both.
Neither. Both.
You're a shayla.
Huh?
You're a seichel.
No, you're chayav for damage, and you have to fill the gas tank up, and you have to wash it, and you have to make sure it's clean, gishmak. Are you, who's on the deed?
You're a seicher.
You're a soicher. I'm asking, is a soicher...
Is a seicher your house? If you're renting a house, is it your house?
For la halacha. I'm asking you, yeah.
Could you change things inside the apartment when you rent?
No, that also you need a... So you have to... Okay. I said gas.
You can't break it, you can't do damage to it, you can't sell it.
So, gas is your achrais, doesn't mean they're your own. I said damage and I said gas. Afal Pekin, I'm asking, are you considered halachically the owner? Says the Gemara. Why can't you sell a larger animal? My time. The Gemara tells us we're not concerned about reveal with a larger animal. But we're concerned about somebody doing melach on Shabbos. So if you sell this animal to a non-Jew, it says in the pasuk, "B'sharcha," we say it in Kiddush, "B'sharcha v'chamorcha v'chol b'emtech." You're not allowed to do melacha. So you're selling it to the non-Jew. He's going to do melacha with it. Ask the Gemara, "V'ne eved." Let him do. Give it the zav nekanya. It's not yours anymore. It's not a problem if he does melacha. You're not mechuyev to worry about this animal forever. Says Gemara, you're right. If you go to sell it to David Kechavim, tomorrow you're going to rent it to him. You rent it to him. And if you rented him, who's the real owner? You the Jew, you're the real owner, and his animal is doing malacha. As the Gemara, she'elo kanya v'agra kanya. But when you lend your animal to somebody else or you rent it to him, then the guy halachically becomes the real owner. That's what the Gemara understands now. Don't get all excited. I'm concerned that you're going to test it out. What does that mean? There's an interesting halacha called mechamer. Here, mechamer. What does that mean? Most of us know, but those of us who weren't here for Shabbos or we didn't have it that often, mechamer is when you cause an animal to carry in let's say Rishus Harabim Daled Amos with a package on it, and you want it. Okay, there's a few things. Example: your dog has a loaf of bread in its mouth, a challah in its mouth, a gefilte fish, and you want him to cross the Rishus Harabim and come to you. So you call him, you scream out, "What's the name?" Shendel, Chweis, whatever the name is. Come here. Yeah? Get over here. And the dog crosses the road with the chal in its mouth and comes to you. Yo'over ha'mechamer. Yo'over ha'mechamer. Mamsh is the raisa. Okay? So if you cause, let me ask you, Stam, I'm not 100% sure about this. I'm pretty sure. What if I cause that guy's animal? I chase the guy's animal has a bag with the chocolate, and I chase him, and I cause him to cross the street. I don't chase him physically. I yell at him. I say something. I say, "Get out of here," and he gets scared and runs. But it's not my dog. It's your dog. Oiver or not oiver? No. Yes. I love it. The answer is most likely yes. Yes. There might be some Rishonim say no, but the answer is yes. I'm going to go with yes. Oiver. Although from here there's a word that says behem toy, but okay. So what happens is as follows. You're buying a good animal, but you want to see if it works. But I was surprised, but I showed it in Shir once. You have a plowing bull. It's not stam. You don't just take a bull and tell him to plow. He has to listen to commands. He has to hear commands. Left, he goes left. Right. Stop. Fast. Slow. This is a command. He's a trained animal. This is not a joke. That's why they demand more money. It's not just a bull. So I want to see the non-Jew who's buying this bull from you. He wants to see that the commands are working. So he tells the guy, "Let me see. Go. Tell him to move. Tell him to go right, left." The problem is it's Shabbos already. You did this deal 5 minutes before Shkia, like every good Jew. Last second, done deal. Now he says, "Okay, go ahead, make him turn." You'll be over. I'm a chamer. Here we actually have a video. I love this geschmack. Those who know Yossi Klan, it's gewaldig. Put up the volume, Gershon.
Come here, du ox. Come here, du Schäferle. Bolle Porsche. Come here, ox.
I just told him, I said we got to do it in all languages. In Yiddish, Come here, Schäferle.
Come here, du ox. Come here, du Schäferle. Bolle Porsche. Come here, ox.
Come here, ox. It starts moving with all those barrels. That's mechamer. What's this?
That's it. Animal didn't work on Shabbos.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'll see. That's been torta. What's the case? Zimnit, the zamnol and halei. You sell the ox right before Shabbos, the mali shabso. The buyer tells the Jew, "Let me see what it does." And the ox hears his voice, and it goes because of him. The seller, the Jew, is happy with that because that's one of the conditions. You have to want this. It's a gzeira of mechamer. We'll call it, the Gemara calls it nesyoine, testing out the animal. It's not 100% that it's chayav chatos, it's chayav. It's a das yochad that you chayav chatos. You're definitely chayav. Okay, the point is you chayav.
He calls it here a shogeg.
Shogeg? What? No, if you don't want. Over here you want. There's no shogeg about that.
Not have cars. You're not have cars.
What?
The law on Shabbos that you're not.
Oh, okay. You're not chayav cars. Maskiv lo Rav Shisho bereder of Idi. So now he pokes a hole in the whole thing. And that's what most of you were saying before. If you're renting a car, an animal, does it really become yours? Even in a place that you said you could rent a house to a guy, I have to look into this because it's later sugya, Daf Chofalev, I think, where I have apartments, and I walked into apartments where I saw real Avodah Zara, Hindus, and all sorts of these kind of people. This is real Avodah Zara. How am I allowed to rent it to them? Big problem, very big problem. Now, in America, you have the fair housing thing. You can't say, oh, like here in Israel, it's no problem. No charedim in this neighborhood. We're building here, mefurish, no charedim, no porches, so you can't do sukkahs. No shuls. No shuls, no this. You can't do that in America. You go to jail if you say that. Even the man Ahmed says that you could rent a place to idol worshiper, but not an apartment. You could rent him storage, but not an apartment. Why? Because he brings Avodah Zara. Ask the Gemara Davi's question. What do you mean he brings Avodah Zara? Into whose house is he bringing Avodah Zara? If he's renting it, it's his 100%. So what's the problem? He's bringing it to his own home. Says Gemara, you're right. Technically, you're right. But Shani Avodah Zara, there's a special halacha when it comes to Avodah Zara, the chamira. It's super, super stringent. The chsiv v'lo yisavi soyeva el beisecha. You should not bring this abomination into your house. So there's nothing else in the Torah. The Torah doesn't say don't bring a pig into your house. The Torah doesn't say anything about anything. This is the one thing the Torah says: don't bring it into your home. So if the Torah is so makbid, so even if you rented it out, it's not a raya that you still own it. It could be a special kind of halacha. Don't let Avodah Zara into your house. Real quickly, Rabbi Victor Miller used to use this pasuk. He used to say, "Leisavi soyeva." He says, "Leisavi is like a lashon of TV. Loi TV el beisecha." Don't bring it. And back then, remember, TV was the worst of the worst. Today, halavai, you had a TV, and you didn't go on the internet. Halavai, it's from the tzadikei ador. When we were in Deal, we did the MDY trip. We were in Deal, New Jersey. So one of the guys knocks on they said, okay, you sleep here. So he knocks on the door. He says, I'm here for Shabbos. So the guy says, you have a smartphone? He says, yeah. He says, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't accept, I can't have people that have smartphones in my house. And left him on the street. We had to get him another place. And this Deal, this is like shaved guy, the whole thing. No, that's a tayeva. Not in my house. Huh?
It depends who in deal. It's not, you have to know which people.
Yeah. That guy never. He had it rough. So we got him another place, and the second place forgot that they let a guy, like they weren't like. So he comes back after the Suda and it's locked and he's knocking. He ended up staying by us. Anyway, Maskiv lo Rav Yitzchak Bereder Misharisha. Uschirus Mikanyo. Maybe it was him. Maybe it was just something against him. Like the guy just used it. You? No, not you. You have a phone? Okay, no, I don't do phone. The next guy says, yeah, you could stay by me, but oh yeah, I didn't hear that you were knocking. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Another question. What you own the animal when you rent it? But now we learned. If you're the renter, but the owner, the original owner, is a kohen. Yachilenu karshini truma. Here, karshinim. Real quickly, this is what a karshina. It's vetch. It's a sort of pea, whatever. And over here, this guy's so excited.
Reporting, Lewis County, Missouri, June 4th. These guys are busy grazing hairy vetch.
Vetch.
You can watch them.
That's vetch right there.
This is tremendous forage. Also tremendous for soil.
Good for the
health,
soil
quality, building topsoil.
Yeah.
And they're just having a picnic right here in front of our eyes.
Having a picnic.
Perfect day, great rain overnight.
Yeah, it's geschmack. They're having a picnic. Anyway, so it says that if the owner is a kohen, you could feed it. Now, how does it work? So Rashi goes into the whole thing. How does it work? You take, I say this all the time, but the guys in the kohen know the guy. There's a kohen in Eretz Yisrael who owns the biblical zoo. Now, he owns the zoo because he's a kohen, and so all the animals, there's all this truma that nobody could eat. They feed it to the animals. Why does he own it? For two major reasons. One is he gets to go to the zoo for free. That's his whole benefit. Benefit number two is he gets to name the animals. Yeah, he's the one that came up with Shendel, yeah. He does whatever, yeah. So, but Rashi says like this. It works like this. It's not to be confused. No kohen in the world could go and demand the truma. The Yisrael has the right to give it to whoever he wants. So he could have given it to the donkey rental place, to the owner. Instead, he gave it to the owner's animal, which that guy is very happy with, because you're putting in the premium gas instead of giving, if somebody rents your car, you don't know what he's going to do. He might put the 85 in there instead of the 90, 91? 93. Putting him karshinim, that's the best stuff for him. So instead of giving it to him, you give it to his animal, he's happy. Great. Says the Gemara, and the reverse, what if the rental place is owned by a Yisrael who cannot eat truma, even though you're a kohen and you have to feed it, you have to fill the gas tank, you cannot use karshini truma. But why? If you hold that the renter is the real owner, why shouldn't he feed him? It's his 100%. Feed it truma. End the story. So somebody ever asks you again, when you rent something, is it yours? No. The real owner is the original guy with the deed. He's the owner. You have a lot of responsibility because you rented it. You have to fill it up with gas. You have to take care of it. You're responsible. Now, but now that I'm telling you that schiros doesn't work, so why can't you sell something to a guy, a larger animal to a guy? The answer is 3 reasons. You're not allowed to sell because you might get confused and think that you're allowed to rent. Now, if you rent it, that's definitely a problem. Why? Because it's your animal. And if it's your animal's working on Shabbos. Maybe the guy will want to borrow it on Shabbos. You're not using it anyway, so come use it. And also because you'll come to do mechamer on Shabbos. Stop! I saw a funny story from Zilberstein Mamish. It's one of these stories that only happens with Zilberstein. A guy calls up somebody and says, "You selling your car?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "Could you show me your car at 2:00?" He says, "I can't. I'm Mamish. I'm tied up on this." He says, "Come on, that's the only time I have 2:00." Okay, fine, 2:00. These 2 guys show up to check out the car. He says, "Okay, let's take it for a test drive." He says, the owner drives around and this and that, and then he says, "No, make a right over here, left, this, that." And he says, "Okay, leave us also." They just wanted a ride. So the guy is really mad, and he's like there. He sees there's a mechanic there. He's like, "Okay, fine. I'll stop by the mechanic." And once he stops by the mechanic, some guy at the mechanic bought his car. So now these 2 clowns come out and say, "Wait a minute, we want percentage. We brought you here." I just like the end. The end is Rav Zilberstein says like this: these guys owe this guy a taxi ride. Chayes, they offer a taxi, but he comes up with a moiridik chiddush. He says sometimes when somebody tries to do harm, but he causes you good, you have a chiyuv of a karas hatayv. He proves it from Oig Melech HaBashan. What? Oig Melech HaBashan. Very good. He brings a raya from Oig Melech HaBashan, says Raki, and therefore they try to cause you damage, but they cause you good. So be mevater on the taxi ride. Love it. The kishrin to make up the story is much greater than even if the story didn't happen. Says the Gemara, think about it, Rabbi Isai. If a broker takes your animal and tries to sell it, are we concerned that there's going to be mechamer? No. Why no mechamer? Because the animal has no idea. He doesn't understand the commands from this person. He won't take the commands. He's not used to the voice. Is there a problem of lending and renting? We have 3 problems, right? Why can't you sell an animal to a guy? Lending, renting, and mechamer. All 3 things don't apply. So therefore, if you use a third party, it's okay, says the Gemara. Through the hand of the broker. If you're worried about on Erev Shabbos, right when Shabbos comes in, you're going to make the animal walk. He doesn't recognize the voice. That's the machmas that you should go for because of him. And if you're worried about renting and lending, given the lady day, since it's not his, he's not going to do it. He's not going to rent it because it's not his. He's only giving it to sell. Anybody that ever bought a used car knows that as soon as you get home, guaranteed you're going to find something you never knew about before, right? The blinker doesn't work, the air conditioner doesn't work. You tried it was in the winter, then you try, what happened there? And then that's the concern there. He's not going to let anybody rent or this because then you're going to find out exactly what this animal is all about. So here's the question: could I rent or could I sell my field that's perfectly plowed on Shemitah? A guy comes to me and says, I want to buy your field on Shemitah. Why in the world does he want to buy it on Shemitah? Obviously, he wants to use it now. Why can he wait till next year? What's the rush now? Knowing that he might use it on Shemitah, he doesn't look like the most Shemitah observant Jew. Can I sell it to him? Yes or no? Ravuna sold a cow to the non-Jew, to the idol worshiper. That's exactly what the Mishnah says don't do. The Mishnah says don't sell a behemoth to the idol worshiper. Rav Chisda says, my time, why did you do that? We have a new Yesod that we haven't seen. It's called Talina Lakula. Listen, watch this. We interpret leniently. If you go to the right, you go to the left. You go to the right, you go to the lenient. What does that mean? If I think this guy might use this animal, Chil Shabbos or whatever, I'm going to say, no. He's buying it. He's buying it for shchita. He wants to shecht it. That's it. He wants to shecht it. He wants to eat it. So the question is, where else do we see this kind of concept that if it could go both ways, we have to interpret it for the good? And what happens if the good is a little bit less likely than the bad? Do we also interpret like that? So says the Gemara Daf Amud Beis, sponsors. Turn to the Daf of our global experts in international financial services. Anonymous has this for smooth, healthy labor and birth. Amen. Givat Shalva, a Torah true community in Givat Zev. It's a corporate sponsor. So how do you know you say such a thing? Talina lekula. It's not. You're not allowed to sell a plowing animal on Shemitah. Why? Why are you buying this animal today? Because you want to plow on Shemitah, it's awesome. But we go like Beisilo. We always pass like Beisilo. Beisilo, matirim. They say you're allowed to sell a tractor to somebody on Shemitah. Why? Because with Talin and Lakula, we have to assume that perhaps he wants to. Huh?
What do you do with a tractor?
Yeah, tractor doesn't work here. A para. You can't check the tractor. A para. I was just throwing it out. A tractor para. It's a para chereshes. This is what they did with it. They use it as a tractor, but I'm going to assume even though it's a real good, expensive para chereshes, maybe you're mamish desperate for meat and you want to shecht it. Omer Rabba says, Rabbi, I don't understand what you're saying. Midami. A person is not responsible for what his animal does on Shemitah. On Shabbos he is. On Shemitah not. Elamai. So there's no problem of shvisas behemtoi. There's no problem of making sure your animal doesn't work on Shemitah. The only problem is lifnei iver. Lifnei iver talin and lekula. If I'm concerned that the guy might do something wrong on Shemitah with it, I'm going to say no. He probably wants to shecht it. But in our case, a person has to make sure his animal doesn't work on Shabbos, and for that we have three problems. Maybe he's going to rent it, maybe he's going to lend it, or maybe he's going to be over on mechamer. What's the connection to Shemitah? Okay, so now we just said something. What did we just say? That if we're not concerned that the animal will work on Shemitah, it's mutter, and if we're concerned the animal is going to work on Shabbos, it's aser. So the Gemara rips apart both of those statements. Anytime a person is not permitted to have his animal work, it becomes aser. Something similar is a field, the field itself. There's a reason why Israeli farmers don't rent out their fields and they lose a lot of money on Shemitah. That's why they have the whole Karen Shvius and the whole thing. Because you can't rent it out on Shemitah. You can't let somebody else do work I'm not doing work. Let him do it. He doesn't care about Shemitah. No, it's Aser. Usnan, you shouldn't sell a plowed field in Shemitah. We go like Visila. That what? It's mutter to sell the field on Shemitah. Why? Because Talinon Lekula. What does that mean? The guy buying it perhaps won't use it today. Why is he buying it? I don't understand. Why is he buying it? For next year. But he's probably buying it for now. But no, Talina, I have two things I could say he's buying for now, he's buying for next year. I'm going to go with the next year. I'm going to go leniently. But Akopar, you see something that you're mechuyev to make sure it doesn't work. Basically, he'll say, you could sell. So it has nothing to do with able to work or not able to work. Another question on the flip side. And if something you have no concern in whether it's working or not, like a vessel, you're not mechuyev to make sure that your stuff doesn't work on Shemitah. Yet it says even though your kli, you don't have the responsibility on your kli. It's not an animal. It's just a kli. Nevertheless, there's certain kelim you're not allowed to sell in Shemitah. Hamachreisha, the plow, b'kol kelel. Udnan eloin kelim she'ein adam r'shoy l'machim shvis. Hamachreisha v'kol kelel. Here, this is machreisha. You're not allowed to sell this on Shemitah. Ha'oil. Oh, let me show you oil real quickly. Oil, this is cool. This is a real oil. The yolk. What does a yolk look? You know what a yolk is, right? But it's geschmack. It's like a third world country yolk. I think they make it a little better today, no?
Missouri, no?
Ha'oil. Ba'hamizra v'hadeker. Here's a mizra v'hadeker.
It's a good low saxo.
That was a low safsam? I didn't notice. No. It's a fallow field. They're plowing. There's no food there. I have no idea. They shouldn't eat dirt. Maybe it's a mask. Maybe the liberals. I don't know. Oh. So let's do this about peh. Where does it make sense logically to say that a person purchased this for another reason? I'll give you three things. There's a field. There's a plow. And what else? There's a cow. Three things. Which one of these three things? Cow, field, plow. Which one of these three things makes 0 sense? They bought it today. It's Shemitah today. It's what? Plow. Plow. There's no other reason. That's exactly what the Gemara says. That's the whole thing. If it makes sense, I have a reason to believe he might want it for meat. He might want this field. Why would he buy the field then? Why a field? No. More than that. For next year. Sometimes real estate is not available. I see a geschmack deal over here. I have a great field. It's right next to my house. Let me chop it today. You're right, I can't plow today. I'll plow next year. But why in the world is he buying tools that you buy the tools next year? Why do you need tools today? Obviously, you're breaking Shemitah. In other words, it has nothing to do with whether you have to make this kli rest or this field rest. It just has to do, logically speaking, could I interpret it leniently? So, a cow in a field, I could interpret it leniently, but by a kli, I can interpret it leniently. I don't. So a kli, even though there's no chiyuv for me to make sure that it doesn't work on Shemitah, but since the only obvious reason he's buying it is to do it, like a steak at Benny's, or like cigarettes before Shabbos, it's also for me to sell it to him. A story. He sold a donkey. Now a donkey, you can't say, let me interpret it leniently. What is he going to do with it? That's what you asked before. A donkey, you can't check the donkey. What am I going to do with it? What's the other side? The Mishnah says you're not allowed to sell a large animal to a non-Jew. But over here he sold it to a Yisrael who might sell it to a Goy. That's where the Taisus comes in. Remember? We learned that the lifnei is mutter. There's no double lifnei either.
That's if they're both goyim.
That's if they're both goyim, says Taisus. That's where the Taisus comes in, right over here. I didn't have time to this, but Taisus says, We said that a before is mutter. You're selling to a guy, and a guy doesn't have lifnei iver. But you're selling to a Jew that you're selling to is chayiv on lifnei iver, so it's a problem. How can you sell it to a Jew who's going to sell it to a guy? I want to sell it to a Jew. But he might go and sell it to the guy. So he tells him back, who told you who he's selling it to? In other words, you don't know for sure he's going to sell it to a guy. Maybe he'll sell it to a Jew. So I'm selling to a Jew who might sell it to a Jew. Yes, he might sell it to a guy, but that we don't know. What?
Either way,
it's like a double Tolin. First, I'm selling it to you. You're okay, but you might be over and lifnei iver, but you might not. So it's like it's one step removed Tolin and Lakula. So there's a very long brayse here. It's very simple. The brayse makes a distinction between the David Kechavim and the Kusi. A Kusi is somebody who we're not sure, it's a machlokes in the Gemara, whether they're real converts or not. They become Geri Arayis because of the lions, or they really mean it. So there's differences in halacha, big differences, even though they went back to doing what they did. They were over the Zara and everything afterwards, but they still, they took upon themselves certain things. They're not as murderous, and you see over here, they're not so chashad and revia, etc. So Gemara proves from here something. What? We want to prove that you're not allowed to sell to a kusi who's going to sell it to a guy. The two-step remove is also. Why? It says, we're talking about a kusi here. In a place that you're allowed to sell a small animal to a kusi, but if the minig is not to, you don't. My taima. But what's the problem? If the problem is that they are chashid or revia, but they're not. But you're not allowed to put your animal in a parking lot of the idol worshiper. Even a male by a male owner over there, and a nekeva by nekeva. Oh, we're going to get into it later, that the nekeva also, with a nekeva animal, maybe the guy will come visit her, and he won't find her, so he'll use the animal. Certainly, if it's the opposite sex, so you're not allowed to put a zachar by the nekeva and a nekeva by a zachar. And you can't give your animal to their shepherd because they're over on revia. With the idol worshiper, you can't have yichud. Why? Because they'll kill you. The chashan or ritzicha. We say that, what's the song? What does it mean? You're not allowed to teach your kid. You're not allowed to teach your kid chumash. What does it mean? That you're allowed to teach your kid other subjects on Shabbos, and that's what it means over here. You have a non-Jewish tutor. You got to be careful. Why? Because he's going to teach your kid kfira. That's the problem. It's a big problem today.
It's not just Shabbos. It's
not Shabbos, not yichud, not revia. We're concerned about minos. Yeah, that's another. Yeah, that's the second thing. Yeah, you're right. Second shot. I'm going with the minos now. Avamamidim. So here, this is what we did all this to get to here. Avamamidim behema. But when it comes to kusi, it's different. Avamamidim behema p'nukosha kusim. You could park your donkey, or let's call it a sheep, by the kusi. Zecharim it's nekevis, nekevis is zecharim. Ben tzachloim is zecharim it's zecharim. Nekevis is nekevis. You're allowed to do all sorts of animals. It doesn't matter who the owner over there is. You can give your animal to their shepherd, and you can have yichud with him. You're not concerned he's going to kill you. We're not concerned that they're going to teach the kid kfira. The bottom line is, so we need this Rashi here. It's a very important Rashi to understand what's pshat. I highlighted where Rashi says. Rashi says, all this is great, but you see from here that a larger animal is aser. Why? I'm concerned he's going to sell to the non-Jew. Oh, he's going to sell to the non-Jew. Here's a raya that you're not allowed to sell to somebody who he himself is not a problem, but he might sell it to the non-Jew. So how are you selling it to the Jew who might sell it to the non-Jew? That's what he's asking him. there's such a great kasha that he had charot and he ran after him to retract the animal. Says Gemara V'oid, and another raya, V'oid Tanya, Emerchem lahem, you can't sell to the non-Jew. There's a shaila here in Eretz Yisrael. The government wants to sell weapons to France, to Chvez Shvaz, the arrow system, to this, different. They have great weapons, lasers. Could you sell it to them? It says over here, you're not allowed to sell to the non-Jew. You're not allowed to sharpen the knife. All things that are obvious in the washal today. I forgot what it's called, ammonium nitrate, whatever it's called. The stuff that makes bombs. Fertilizer. Could I sell fertilizer to the skinhead? Well, what does he do with fertilizer? He wants to blow things up. It's a problem. It's in those days, it was chains and different things and armor, all the stuff. Oh, and over here it says, to who can't you sell it? Even to a kusi. It says kusi. Why not kusi? My time. If you're concerned about murder, they're not so. You said that you could do yichud with them, and you're not concerned they're going to kill you. So you're not concerned for that. So what? Because they're going to do a deal with the Adayam. That's what they do. You sell to him and he sells it to them. It's a big problem. Mamish, a big concern. What if South Korea sells an atom bomb to the enemy? It's terrible stuff. And then he said Mefurish, Putin, I'm going to sell it to them. I'm going to give it to them. Russia. Putin said Mefurish. Oh, you're right. His big guy. You're right. You think he stopped talks one word without him getting a joke? Okay, but you're right. Maybe you'll say no. The reason the kusi is a problem, he has zero conscience. But a Jew has a conscience. He's not going to start selling things to the other. That he won't do. So he said, I'm selling to a Jew who might sell to the guy. That he has a conscience, he won't do. Just like you're not sell to a guy directly. So you see, you're not allowed to sell to a Jew who's going to sell to the non-Jew, to the idol worshiper. Says Gemara's story. First of all, I got to show you this real quickly. I know here's a guy selling weapons. That looks like one of the guys that got killed over there, Baruch Hashem. And here's Royd Basrei plus a parsei, which is a very, 15 miles, who knows how many. Vikid Amri parsei b'chala. Like in the, if you ever went on the beach, try to run on the beach, and it's hard to run, right? You're running half speed, a third of the speed. So it was only one parsei, not three, but in soft dirt, and he didn't catch up to him. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.